Don't look now, but the Denver Broncos are making some moves ahead of 2024. They got their starting quarterback in the draft, taking Bo Nix, and now they've locked up their secondary, giving Patrick Surtain II a 4-year extension. It's worth $96 million, $77.5 of which is guaranteed. The move makes Surtain the highest paid DB in the league. That is confirmed by our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. The Broncos will see if all that money pays off when they kick off the season this Sunday on CBS, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Along with our full lineup of games on the network, we are so back. Let's talk about some of these games on the CBS docket, and to do so, we bring in Charles Davis, who will be on the call for Bengals and Patriots this week. We'll get into that in just a minute. We also have our Super Bowl champion and NFL analyst, Bryant B-Mac McFadden, here to break down Week 1. But let's start with that Seahawks at Broncos game. I went back, gentlemen, and I watched Bo Nix's press conference after he was named the starter, and it almost felt like that news didn't faze him, and not in a bad way. It's just that he looked locked in, like he was expecting to be the starting quarterback and that he's focused and ready to go. Charles, is that the vibe that you've been getting when you watch Bo Nix in the preseason and your expectations for him going into Week 1?
That's pretty much the vibe I've gotten from him since I've known him, Haley. He's never really been surprised when he's been the first guy out there. In fact, he expects it. Now, he doesn't exude it in ways that will turn off people by any stretch of the imagination. He knows how to be humble about it, but at the same time, he's extremely confident in himself and in his abilities. And B-Mac, you know what I'd say right off the top? When they finally named him, it was almost like, what took him so long? He was the starting quarterback from the moment Commissioner Goodell called his name. I know there was a competition, but there was no way he was not going to start this season for the Denver Broncos. He was the apple of Sean Payton's eye.
And I think that's why Bronco fans should be excited about this season, because Sean Payton loves the quarterback in Bo Nix. This was the guy that Sean Payton wanted to draft based on where they were in the first round. And lo and behold, he was there. And then when you factor in just getting acclimated to this new professional playbook, it wasn't an issue for Bo Nix. When you factor in just being able to demonstrate a starter-like mentality at the QB1 for the offense, that wasn't an issue for him either. So to your point, no, it was almost like, just go ahead and just make it known that he is the starting quarterback, because he has performed better than the other quarterbacks that he was allegedly competing with. And then when you look at this matchup for Seattle, they have the more polished, experienced roster, no doubt. They have a rookie head coach. And when you look at Sean Payton and his career against the Seattle Seahawks, Charles, he's 5-1. He's won a lot of ball games against the Seattle Seahawks, and he's had extra time to prepare for this Week 1 matchup. Look out. I mean, just because they have a rookie quarterback starting, Seahawk fans, you don't want to overlook the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Nix is the first rookie quarterback to start in Denver since John Elway back in 1983. We know how that panned out in Denver as well. 4:05 Eastern on CBS for that one. Just down the coast, we find Jim Harbaugh, who will be the first head coach ever to coach an NFL game this season after winning a college football national championship as a head coach. All this guy does is win. Gentlemen, we remember, what he was like when he was in the NFL a few years ago with the 49ers. They opened the season up against the Raiders here. Charles, what's different now that Jim Harbaugh in the NFL now with the Chargers versus where he was at a few years ago with the Niners?
Not a heck of a lot, Haley, when you really get down to it, because the basic philosophy of who Jim Harbaugh is and what he wants out of his team is going to remain the same. The one difference that I would point to is that the quarterback that he has, he's not going to totally box him in. Talk about Justin Herbert. I think Jim Harbaugh is smart enough, having played the position at a high level in the NFL, to understand, yes, I want to be physical. Yes, I want to run the football. Yes, I want to control the game that way. I want to be a total physical presence every time we hit the field. But when I got a quarterback who can sling it like Justin Herbert, I want to make sure I give him opportunities to do so. Heavy play action off in the running game, come off of that, throw that thing downfield, find people, create those big chunk plays behind them. That's what he has in his favor right now. And remember, he benched Alex Smith after an 18 of 19 performance to get a big, strong arm quarterback in the game named Colin Kaepernick, and rode that right arm and big legs to a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert can move it with his feet as well.
In every stop he's been, either as a collegiate head coach or a professional head coach, he's been able to get the best out of the quarterback. And to your point, we all know Justin Herbert, he has an abundance of talent, but he's been straddling the fence when it comes to consistency and winning ball games. There lies the match made in heaven. If you can get Coach Harbaugh to kind of do some of the same things he's done in his previous stops at the quarterback position in totality, overall with the team concept and winning, this will be a match made in heaven. And then I love how they start the season. I know the NFL is super competitive. There's no easy win any given Sunday. But Charles, they play the Raiders this Sunday. They follow that up with the Carolina Panthers. Those are winnable games for the Chargers. And in both matchups, get this, they have the best quarterback in those matchups. No debate, no argument about that at all. So you have to like what Coach Harbaugh could do for the Chargers and being able to get off to a good start and having 2 winnable games to start the season off.
An important note there, Brock Bowers for the Raiders did practice today. He's been banged up, but they are expecting him to play for the Raiders. But all good things in terms of Jim Harbaugh trying to turn things around there out in L.A. Let's get to the game that we talked about at the top of this, Patriots at Bengals. That's where we'll find our Charles Davis on the call for that one. Charles, just when you thought the holdouts, the hold-ins, as BMAC corrected before we came up here, we're just days away from the season opener, and Jamar Chase wants a new deal. Now, he was at practice today, so that is positive given the fact that he hasn't been practicing for the last week or so. But, Charles, from your perspective, I'm curious when it comes to the preparation side of this. I know you'll have conversations with Zach Taylor and both sides of this matchup here, but how are you preparing? You know, what questions are you planning to ask, you know, in terms of what's going on with Chase?
I would try and prepare as the way that I know B-Mac prepares. That is for every eventuality. All right, when he was playing, I'm fairly sure that when he looked at teams and how they would try to attack, he would take all of it, dissect it, and then think to himself, okay, what did I miss? What if they came at me this way? What if they came at me that way? That's how we're trying to prepare, Haley. If Jamar Chase plays, if he's in shape and can play X number of plays and they can still run offense through him, how do we think it'll look? What if he's on a pitch count, even though they say he's in shape? How will that look? We're going to be asking Zach Taylor point blank when we see him on Friday. Do you expect him to play or not on Sunday? And Zach Taylor's always been very forthright with us, so we'll go with it that way. Here's the other side. You saw the guy walking with him into practice, T. Higgins? Before Jamar Chase came there, B-Mac, who was wide receiver 1 in Cincinnati?
T. Higgins.
It was T. Higgins. And so T. Higgins is saying, listen, if you don't want to go, I get it. I support you. But I can handle the load. Because remember, he didn't get the contract he wanted. He had to sign the franchise tag. And, yeah, it's big money, but he didn't get the contract the other guys got, and he wants to show the rest of the league he's still a WR1. So if Jamar Chase goes, great. If he doesn't go, T. Higgins like, no problem, throw it to me. And by the way, throw it to me anyway. I've been around, Joe. So let's go ahead and do this thing. But we will ask Zach Taylor point blank. We'll have better clarity come Friday. But right now, as you pointed out, Haley, it seems to be trending back towards Jamar Chase playing, but we'll just wait and see.
I can tell you this much. I, for one, would be okay if T. Higgins was wide receiver 1 for Sunday's matchup because I have him in one of my fantasy lineups, and I love the opportunities if he could get if Jamar Chase is not playing opposite of T. Higgins. But to your point with Zach Taylor, I can answer the question right now, I think, for you, Charles. Jamar Chase is playing. He's playing. This was the major concern today, Wednesday's practice. Charles, you know, this is a very, very important day when you get ready for a Sunday matchup. And he was out there and he had his jersey on, he had his cleats on, he had his towel, his gloves, and his helmet. All of those things tell me.
He wasn't 13 minutes late, was he, B-Mac? He was 13
minutes late. He didn't have his blade blockers on, walking out with a T-shirt on and just some shorts. He had his practice gear on. That told me, you know what? He's going to lace him up today. He's probably going to take things a little slow, but he's going to lace him up, intense his workload each day until he gets to Sunday. And you better believe when the starters trot on the football field offensively for Cincinnati, number 1, Uno, will be out there.
And Haley, very quickly, Zach Taylor's consistently said, although he did say I put my foot in my mouth when I said he's practicing, but he has consistently said he's been in every meeting. He's been doing conditioning. after practices. Zach didn't talk about it, but all the reporters have said he goes privately and does stuff. So it won't be a surprise to me at all if he's out there with pretty much a full load come Sunday.
Listen, the front office has already said that they can't afford to lose him. So let's just get the deal done and talk about other things. Our Charles Davis and Bryant McFadden joining us ahead of week 1 of the NFL. Guys, I can't say it enough. We are so excited as we continue to count down to our Sunday slate on CBS. The the Broncos Seahawks on that list. Bengals Patriots as well. So many games coming your way Sunday.